All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive on something that has got people talking.
Right.
The arrest of Charleston White.
Right.
He's someone who a lot of folks online know as really outspoken.
Oh, for sure.
Especially when it comes to calling out issues within the hip-hop community and things like that.
Yeah, yep.
So we are going to be looking at a YouTube video from a channel called Ticket TV
Okay.
to try to understand, what exactly led to this arrest.
Mm-hmm.
And Ticket TV, it's a pretty raw channel.
Oh, yeah.
They are known for their unfiltered commentary.
Yes, definitely.
So just a heads up, we're probably going to hear some pretty strong language in this video.
Sure.
But that's kind of part of their whole style.
Yeah, it is.
So to start off with the basics,
Okay.
what do we know so far about what exactly landed Charleston White in jail?
So Charleston White was arrested in Tarrant County, Texas,
Okay.
on 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon,
Oh, wow.
and he is currently being held without bond.
Without bond.
Yeah.
So that already, that's not good.
No, it's not.
Could you break down just how serious these charges are?
Yeah, especially in Texas.
Yeah, in Texas.
So aggravated assault in Texas is a felony.
Okay.
And there are actually different degrees of severity when it comes to this charge.
Ah.
And when a deadly weapon is involved, like it seems to be here,
Yeah.
it usually gets bumped up to a first-degree felony.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and the commentator in the video, when he was going over all this,
Yeah.
he had like a serious reaction when he realized how serious this could be.
I bet.
Because in Texas, a first-degree aggravated assault charge can mean up to 99 years.
Wow.
Which is basically a life sentence.
Wow. That's intense.
Yeah, it is.
And it doesn't sound like this is his first run-in with the law either.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay.
The commentator points out that White had similar charges back in 2022,
Mhm.
and then he had another arrest in October of 2024
Oh, wow.
for aggravated assault and animal cruelty.
So there's a history here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a pattern.
Do we know if this new arrest is related to those past charges at all, or?
It's too early to tell.
Okay.
We don't have all the details yet about the current charges, but the
Right.
fact that this has happened before does make you wonder.
Yeah.
Is there something about his behavior,
Right.
his approach to dealing with conflict
Right.
that keeps leading him down this path?
Yeah. And maybe to try to answer that,
Yeah.
we should look at the kind of person that Charleston White portrays himself as, especially online.
I think that's a good idea.
Like, what kind of personality is he projecting,
Well, the commentator in the video, he describes Charleston White as like a self-proclaimed activist.
Okay.
But then he also says that White is known for, pretty harsh criticism of the hip-hop community.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he especially focuses on gang violence
Hmm.
and the lifestyle that comes with that,
Interesting. So it's like he's trying to be a voice of reason,
Yeah.
calling out problems,
Mhm.
but maybe it's his methods that get him into trouble.
Yeah, maybe he's going about it the wrong way.
It seems like he's not afraid of confrontation at all.
No, not at all.
Like, maybe even enjoys it a little bit.
It seems that way.
And I think the commentator mentioned some stories that kind of show this.
Yeah, a few specific incidents.
Yeah, like what happened?
Well, he brings up this one incident that took place at a barber shop
Okay.
where Charleston White was supposedly assaulted.
Oh, wow.
But then it sounds like he might have pulled out a weapon himself.
Oh, so it's kind of like a he said, she said situation?
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to know what really happened.
Yeah.
But even though the commentator is kind of laughing about it,
Yeah.
it could have ended really badly if White did pull out a weapon.
For sure. Yeah. And, it makes you wonder if this is like a pattern for him.
Right.
Like, does he have a tendency to escalate things even when it's not the best idea?
Maybe he does.
And the commentator also brings up another incident.
Yeah.
This one involved an animal,
Right.
and it led
Yeah.
to animal cruelty charges. That's right.
But I think we should be careful about jumping to conclusions with that one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because we don't have all the facts.
The video doesn't really go into detail.
Right. And it's important to remember that we're only hearing one side of the story.
Yeah, we're getting this commentator's perspective.
Right. And he's got his own opinions and biases,
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, for sure. So now let's talk about something that really stood out in the video.
Okay.
The Soulja Boy incident.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
The commentator clearly loves this story.
He does.
And it's so funny the way he tells it,
It is?
even though it's actually kind of a scary situation.
Yeah, it is.
So he's talking about how Charleston White, even though he was outnumbered, he just jumps right into this whole chaotic scene.
Yeah, he gets right in the middle of it.
Yeah, and the commentator says he even grabs like a broomstick,
Yeah, he did.
which probably wasn't the best weapon to choose.
Probably not.
But it just goes to show, he's not afraid to stand his ground. No, he's not.
Even when things are not in his favor.
Yeah, he seems to like being in the middle of the action.
Yeah, and this ties back into what we were saying before about him being so quick to jump into confrontations.
You're right.
Even when it puts him at risk.
Yeah, it's like a pattern.
And I have to wonder, is this all part of some online persona?
Yeah.
Is he just playing a character for the camera? Or is this really him?
Or is this really him?
Like, is this who he is even when he's not online?
That's a great question.
I don't know, but it's something to think about.
For sure.
And we're going to keep digging into that in part 2 of this deep dive.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, so we're back, and we are trying to figure out with this Charleston White arrest,
Right.
Is this like a one-off thing, or is this...
a pattern of behavior?
Yeah, is this part of a bigger problem?
Yeah, and it really makes you think about online personas, like how much of what we see online is real? Is Charleston White the same online as he is in person?
Right. Is he putting on a show for the camera?
Yeah.
Or is that really who he is?
And it seems like even the commentator in the video is struggling with these same questions.
Yeah, like he's trying to figure White out too.
Yeah, he is. And I think what really hits him is just how serious these charges are.
Yeah.
Especially that possibility of a life sentence.
Yeah.
It's like he's starting to realize,
right.
This isn't just about losing some followers online.
Right.
This is real life.
Yeah, this is serious stuff.
Yeah, and he even says, I think Charleston White, crazy as hell.
Okay.
I think Charleston White will really stand on what he say. And that's what I believe gonna get his head bust.
Oh, wow.
It's like he's worried that White's usual, tough guy act.
Yeah.
It might not work in a place like jail.
Right. Jail's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, it is.
It makes you think about,
the
difference between how someone acts online and how they act in real life. Yeah, when the cameras are off.
Right, when they're real stakes,
Exactly.
So do you think now that he's facing these charges, he might try to tone it down a bit? That's hard to say.
Yeah.
The commentator seems kind of conflicted about this.
Okay.
On the one hand, he talks about how White has a lot of heart.
Right.
He says he's someone who won't back down from a fight.
Yeah.
But he also knows that jail is a different world.
It is.
You got to adjust
Yeah.
if you want to survive.
Right.
And he even says Charleston White G have to stand on business. Now he going to have to go double back and handle those issues he had.
Oh.
The issues he had, he going to have to double back and handle that.
Wow. It's interesting.
Like he's saying
Yeah.
White might have to deal with some stuff from his past.
Oh, wow.
Now that he's in this vulnerable position.
Yeah, because he can't hide anymore.
Nope.
And it makes you realize living your life so publicly can have consequences.
Big consequences.
Especially when you're always stirring up trouble.
Yeah, you never know what's going to come back to bite you.
So let's go back to that barbershop incident for a second, because that seems really important.
Especially with these new charges.
Yeah, we still don't know all the details.
Right.
But it sounds like White was assaulted there.
Right, allegedly.
Yeah, but then he might have pulled out a weapon.
Which could have made things a lot worse.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it's interesting how the commentator reacts to this.
Yeah.
He says Charleston White had that crime on his helmet right there because he upped the blicky. Like, he understands why White might have done that.
Right.
But he also knows it was a risky move.
Yeah, he's walking that line between understanding the street code, but also knowing the law.
It's a tough balance.
Yeah, and I think that perspective is really valuable.
Yeah.
Because it gives us a look into a world that a lot of us don't know anything about.
A world with different rules.
Yeah.
Different ways of doing things.
So even if we don't agree with what Charleston White did, at least we can try to understand
where he's coming from.
Yeah, the context.
And motivation.
And the commentator, with his knowledge of that world, he can provide insights that
we wouldn't get anywhere else.
Exactly.
He's like our guide.
But we do have to remember, this is just his perspective.
Right, we're seeing things through his lens.
So it's important to be critical.
Yeah, and remember that we're not getting the full story.
Right. So what do you make of this barbershop incident? Do you think it was a sign of things to come?
I mean, it's possible, right?
Yeah.
It does seem to fit into this pattern of him reacting quickly, sometimes aggressively.
Yeah.
But we have to be careful. We don't have all the information.
Right.
It's too early to say, for sure.
Yeah. And that's the thing with these deep dives. We're always working with incomplete information.
Right.
We're trying to put a puzzle together.
With missing pieces.
And this puzzle is getting more and more interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And there's still So much more to uncover.
I can't wait.
Stay tuned for part 3, where we'll wrap it all up and try to make sense of everything we've learned about Charleston White, his online persona, and what all of this might mean for his future. Man, we have been talking about this Charleston White situation for a while now.
We have.
And I gotta say,
yeah,
the more we dig into it,
yeah,
the more complicated it gets.
It does.
It really shows you how messy things can get when online life and real life collide.
Yeah, you start out with this online persona.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you're dealing with real-world consequences.
Yeah. And we've seen how Charleston White's, his whole style being so outspoken and confrontational.
Yeah. Always ready for a fight.
Yeah. It's gotten him a lot of attention.
Oh, yeah. Tons of followers.
But it's also gotten him into a lot of trouble.
And now he's facing some serious charges.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder. Yeah.
Is it all worth it?
And we've had this commentator from Ticket TV kind of guiding us through all of this.
Right. With his own unique perspective.
Yeah. He's not just giving us the facts.
Right.
He's giving us his opinions, too.
Yeah. Raw and unfiltered.
Yeah. And he's become part of the story himself.
Yeah, he has.
But as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to take a step back.
Yeah.
And look at the bigger picture.
Okay. What are your main takeaways?
For me, it's that contrast between how Charleston White seems online, like he's invincible,
untouchable,
in control,
yeah,
and then the reality of his situation now.
Right. He's facing serious time.
Yeah, he could go to prison for life.
It's a reality check.
It is.
It shows you that actions have consequences.
Yeah, no matter how many followers you have.
Yeah, it makes you think about responsibility.
Right.
When you have a platform.
Yeah, you have a voice.
People are listening.
Yeah.
And in Charleston White's case.
Right. He built his platform on controversy. Yeah. On being provocative.
Yeah, always pushing buttons.
But now those provocations have got him into real legal trouble.
So weird.
Is it worth it?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah. Is all that attention worth the risk?
And it's not just about him either.
No.
His actions affect other people, too.
The people around him.
Yeah.
The people he criticizes.
His supporters.
It's just like a ripple effect.
It goes beyond just him.
Yeah, it impacts a lot of people.
So do you think there's a chance for change? Like, could this arrest be a turning point?
Maybe.
Or is he just going to keep going down the same path?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen moments where he seems to be reflecting, questioning himself.
Yeah.
But then we also see him doubling down on that confrontational style.
Even when it backfires.
It's really up to him.
Yeah.
What path he chooses.
And I guess that's the thing.
Yeah.
We can talk about this all day.
Analyze it, speculate.
But ultimately,
it's his decision what he does next.
So as we kind of wrap this up,
yeah,
what do you want our listeners to take away from this?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the importance of thinking critically.
Right.
About everything you see online.
Yeah. Don't just take things at face value.
Exactly. Question everything.
Dig deeper.
Form your own opinions.
And remember, there are real people
with real lives
behind these online personas.
We can't forget that.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the drama.
The entertainment.
But there are real consequences.
Oh, yeah, for everyone involved.
Well said.
Thank you.
I think it's time for us to come up for air.
Yeah, let's surface from this deep dive.
Let everyone process what we've learned.
It's been a fascinating journey.
It has.
And I'm sure this story isn't over yet.
Oh, no, definitely not.
We'll have to see what happens next.
But for now,
keep
learning.
Keep questioning.
Gained exploring.
The deep dive will be back
with another story
soon.